Hello everybody and welcome back to another Minecraft episode. Today we are going to build a big ship in our little port here. And what does that entail? Well, it's going to entail a good bit of me panning on and off camera, making sure that I keep you guys entertained, and because building a ship takes a little bit of time. But let's actually just hop right down into it. So we're going to have the front of the ship. This is kind of your, if I'm using ship terms, your, I believe your bow of your ship coming in like this. And here's how I like to build my ships. So I like to come in and build the outline of the bottom of the ship first. And really it's not ideal that we're working in water right now, but that's fine. So let's extend this out now as long as we may want it to go. And I'm going to say is that good? Yeah, I'm gonna maybe even a tiny bit shorter. How about that? That looks pretty good to me. So what do we do from here? We now have, this is kind of the bottom of the boat. We're gonna build around it. So what we're gonna do is come in. I'm going to fill in all of this. And you may be asking, Tyler, what about the inside of the boat? You know what? If we wanted to create a legitimate inside of the boat, we can carve this out later. But for right now, we're going to roll this as is. I'm going to speed up the process a little bit using some world edit. But how I like to do ships is I like to actually carve the ship out of the, you didn't like that, huh? There you go. I actually like to carve the ship out of the, existing little area right here. So then we're going to come in. We're going to go maybe down like so, and then we're going to fill this in, okay? And we're going to actually bring this all the way down. And go all the way down like so. And we're not going to worry about this end of the ship yet. We're going to do that shortly. But we just want to fill this in. Is this the best technique to build a ship? No. But I do think that it almost helps to do this in order to get the ship, not exactly to keep yourself organized, but to just kind of, it's a nice beginner's way of doing a ship here. So that's the next layer on. And we're going to add all kinds of detail here in the near future. We just want to get basic shape down to start. We're going to bring this down, bring it down one more time, bring it up. And we're just carving our ship from our initial block here. You can already see it starting to get the ship-like look. We maybe knock off that. We're going to do a little bit with that eventually. But we just get this going. I do also recognize our thoughts of having a loading thing over here might be hindered a tiny bit, but maybe not. We're going to see how this ends up here at the end. Let's go in. We're just going to fill this in. We're going to go to this one. Fill it in, set it. Okay. I don't want to pop off camera until I switch to the other side. Then I'm going to hop off cam, do that, time lapse it real quick, and then come right back. But we have the next layer. We're finally above water level, which is great. That means that we're practically done with this area. Fill this in. Okay, so there we go. There's our first side of the ship. You can't really tell a whole lot how it is in regards to the rest of the ship yet, because we don't have the rest of the ship yet, but I can assure you it's going to look fine once we get that taken care of. You didn't like that? Oh, well, that's because we needed to bring it out a little bit. World Edit 101. But we're fine. Let's examine that real quick. Looks good. Wish we could get rid of the water, but, you know, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. So I'm going to finish up the other side of the boat now. It will be a little smaller boat, but I'm okay with that. We could maybe bring it one more. Do we want to go crazy? Let's go crazy. Let's bring in one more. This is something that is totally up to you when you're building your ship. You can make it be super basic and just have maybe 1-2 layers of wood here, but I kind of want to make this as crazy weird as possible, so we're going to add in that other one, and we will be adding it back onto this. Don't even worry about that. But that seems pretty good. We got like 5 layers going in, 4 coming off of our initial one that we did, so that's fine. I'm going to, this might not be time-lapsed, it might be, but I'm going to hop off and finish up the other side of the ship, and then I will be right back. Alrighty, at this point we have our second half of the front of the ship done. Now we're going to work a little bit on the back, and this is going to be pretty easy. We just start to round it up. And really the back of the ship needs to be a little flatter than the front. You want the front to have a nice kind of pointier end to it. We want this to have not as pointy of an end to it. So we just bring it around. We're going to do this on both sides here. And how'd I just do this? Already messing stuff up. Good. We want to do... let's just finish up this side and then we'll move on to the next side. Okay, so this is going to get filled in. Essentially, kind of, we'll go out to each individual thing and then we'll carve it. When in doubt, just carve out the ship. It's so much easier to carve it out than to be placing the blocks by hand. That's exactly what I'm doing right now, is just carving out the ship. Okay. We now know exactly what we're doing here. We will have to carve this because obviously it looks pretty terrible right now. But that's fine. We bring it out. We bring it out. Bring it out. Bring it out. Okay. Then we carve. Realistically, doesn't really matter if our one side isn't the same as the other side. That looks good enough, I suppose. Is that bad? It's pretty bad. Let's carve a little bit more. We bring this. What am I doing? Okay. Don't make a fool out of me right now. There we go. There we go. Okay. Carve. Carve a little bit more, and then we can do maybe like something like that, and then that's good enough. We can also maybe extend this one more, bring these out. Well, we're off balance here. What do we do to get off balance here? Does that look good now? That looks fine. Okay. We're fine. That looks pretty good. Once again, that was just kind of a little bit of carving out the area, seeing what happens, and then you can go in, if there's little things you don't care for, go in and fix them. Like, for instance, I didn't like how pointy that was, so we blocked it off. We now have it exactly how we want it, and that's our basic shape of the ship. And we are going to go in, do a lot more detail work on the sides, but let's start getting the top figured out. So we're going to start on the top by just doing a wood slab all the way around the outside of the ship. It's going to add a little bit of depth to the ship that we want, and it will help in the future for guiding along some other builds on top of the ship. So I'm simply just using some little barrier blocks to place on angles that you wouldn't normally be able to place blocks on, and then just building a little outline of the ship here. Okay, pretty simple. I'll finish this up. Hello! It is at this point that I started to do a bunch of stupid stuff that honestly ended up looking terrible. So let me tell you exactly what you could do. I added in some spruce slabs along the sides of the ship just to add a little bit more texture, a little bit more shape, make it look a little more realistic. Got rid of the awful oak that I decided to put in there. And don't you worry, I got rid of that awful oak stripe later in the episode. So don't worry, it's going to look fine. We want to add a little cabin on the top here. So how we're going to do this is we want to basically shape this here to start going up, because we need to make our kind of where you actually steer the ship area, which is going to be, we're going to make this like an old pirate ship kind of, where you got the steering going on the top. So we're going to have a second level going up here. We're just going to bring these up. And we might bring them up some more, depending on some various things we're going to check here shortly. And then we want to go in, and we're going to say that we have a little room underneath that is going to be right here. Bring those up. That room's going to be right in there with the door right there. And then maybe we actually bring that up one. This is just more test work going on. But we bring these over. We then get rid of what's behind. That's going to give more room for them to walk on to the top of the ship. We'll play with detail work on that shortly. But let's get this in. So we're going to grab our oak slabs. And we can kind of just get a staircase going up here. And maybe we do that. Then we get another little one going like so. And then we got our final one that comes up probably like that onto the top deck. And then we add in around the... Okay, we can't do that there. So we'll just do more oak along here. Like so. And then we bring this down. One more. Bring this down. One more. Like... what happened there? Something what happened there? Okay, there we go. We're good. We're good. That's perfect. Okay, cool. So then you're probably wondering what's going to happen down here. Well, this allows us to have a little chamber down here. We're not going to get into super big detail work on the bottom, but that allows us to have a little place where we can throw a bed. Kind of have like, that's where the captain of the ship sleeps, is in that little place down below there. And that sounds fine to me. So let's just duplicate this on this side. We're gonna do that, and then we add in our final thing. So that then allows us to get up to the top of our ship. We fill this in, and then we, you know, would have some kind of steering wheel up here if Minecraft gave us an opportunity to have one. I suppose we could do like a block here, like that, and then we throw a trapdoor on it or something. And that could work as a steering wheel. We already have a trapdoor here. Okay, there we go. There's our wheel. So the captain can come right on there and steer the ship. We're also going to bring this up here. We're going to look near the middle, which that seems pretty middle to me. We're going to bring this up here. Because obviously your ship needs a couple of masts going on. And then we'll put one near the front of the ship as well. This one being the shortest out of the three. That looks pretty good. Hello again. I realized that everything I made for the rest of the episode looked pretty crappy, so let me explain what I did in here. Here's how to do a halfway decent looking sail. It's hard to make sails on a pretty small ship, but this is the best you're gonna get. You want to go in and basically make a simple design, a little stick coming off of your tall post, and then another stick at the bottom. You're going to want to take your wool that you're using as your sail, and you're just going to want to connect it and then kind of curve the shape up and around your two blocks there. You then build onto it, bringing it out, and adding in a design similar to how this is, kind of like it's waving. You can see I have that going on this one. And I have it going on this one. The larger your sail, the better it's going to look. You can also add in some random blocks here and there. For instance, these don't belong here, but I added them in. We can add in another one, and it still looks pretty good. Other changes I made, took our front of the ship, extended it out a little bit. Makes it that much more grander, gives a cool appearance as you're walking over, like, oh hey, there's the ship. Pretty awesome looking. Added in some fences along the side, changed the awful oak to be spruce, added in some trapdoors, some buttons, and then just put a bunch of junk all over the ship. Crafting tables, chests, barrels, furnaces, jukeboxes, added in a ladder and a little walkover area over here so you could hop onto the ship. Obviously this isn't a working ladder, it's something that looks like a ladder. And then we also got these weird fence contraptions going up our ship. And we're actually going to add in a couple more of those right now. You can kind of add them in different areas. I like putting them in twos going up, where you can kind of get like it's a rope going up the ship. It's a cool little look that works out pretty well if done correctly. So we're going to try and do it as correctly as possible right here, and kind of just extend it over onto our little mast here. So then we got, looks like a little rope going up. You can extend that rope maybe down this way, and here's where you can do some single ones, just like it's being tied somewhere. Just bring it down, and we can attach this somewhere over here. Maybe right along here onto there. And it looks like it's attached. It's got a new nice little look. We can also do something over here. Maybe bring it up from right here. Bring it up and over. Kind of curve it in a little bit. Curve it in a little bit more. And then it attaches to our post like that. And then we can just kind of duplicate this on the other side. And bring it down. Okay, so that's going to be the end of the ship build. Apologies that there wasn't more, I suppose, commentary for making the ship, as my mind went on a blank as I was building this, and it looked a lot crappier than I kind of wanted it to. So this is, it's not the best ship in the world, but it's going to do for our little area. It looks pretty old. It's pretty small in comparison to other ships that you could make, but it does its job. It works out pretty well. I hope you all enjoyed. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe, and we will see you all in the next episode. Goodbye.